Hi, this is Sushovan Mapatra from School of Accelerated Learning. I work with the admissions and outreach team at SOAL. Thank you all for showing interest in our product engineering full stack development program. In this video, I'll be walking you through the course details and the admissions process. A little bit more about SOAL. We started about 2.5 years back in Hyderabad. We are a learning company focused on bridging the gap between the industry requirements and what the current education system provides us as skills. To give you a very short description, there are certain skill sets that are required by the industry when they are looking for employees. However, oftentimes those skills are not the kind of skills that we get out of our learning experience in colleges and the traditional education system. That is where SOAL works. SOAL works to bridge that gap and equip our learners with the skills that can make them ready for a great career in the field of technology. Moving on, in this video we'll be briefly covering the product engineering program and the technologies that you will be learning. I'll also talk about the learning environment. I'll also mention some success stories of SOAL and the alumni network, and then I'll talk about the placements and the fee structure. I'll then end with the admissions process and tell you what to do next so that you can apply for the program. Alright, just keep in mind that there will be certain slides that I'll be skipping through while I am presenting because we want to keep the video short. However, these slides will also be attached to the email that will be sent to you. So please go through the slides separately so that you get a better idea of what's there in the course. Okay, I'll move on now. To start with, I mentioned how SOAL's program is industry ready, and these are a few names that stand out when it comes to industry mentorship. These are the people that our founders and the educators consulted and keep consulting before starting any program. So everything, the entire curriculum in SOAL is made with mentorship from people like Pradeep Deshu from Gojek, who used to head the recruitment for Uber South Asia. There's Ajit Ragnekar from ISB, there's Aditya Gupta from Instamojo, and various others that you can see. So to give you a very quick example, Pradeep Deshu believes that there is a skill gap when it comes to hiring. So he says that while we keep complaining about not having enough jobs, it's not about that, it's more about not having enough skilled individuals. Anyway, and that's the space SOAL is in. A brief overview of the program, you can go through it in your time. However, to just highlight a few things, 12 plus products, so you are learning, it's entirely product based. Every week you are learning a certain technology set, and then you are implementing it to build products. That's how you are learning. So by the end of the program, you have a portfolio of 12 plus real world products. 24/7 infrastructure, be it online or offline, you have 24/7 access to our infrastructure, be it our learning spaces, be it our online learning assistant, whatever we may be, you have access to it 24/7. Okay, now this is one of the main parts we'll focus on. The entire program, product engineering program, is basically teaching you full stack development, which means that you're learning how to become a back-end developer and how to become a front-end developer, and both of them together makes you full stack developer. So initial period of the program, you will be learning full stack development, all the basics, and after a point, depending on your preferences, you will be either specializing in back-end or front-end development. To give you a brief of the program structure, the program is divided into 5 phases: core phase, focus phase, deep focus phase, capstone phase, and career phase. Core phase is where, starting from the bottom, very basics, beginner level understanding, you start from HTML, CSS, and you learn those technologies, you learn those tech stacks, and then you move on to learning more and more as you go with time. So the entire program teaches you JavaScript, because JavaScript has several, and especially something called MERN stack, MERN stack. That is the only language, actually not the only, one of the few languages that enables you to become a front-end developer and a back-end developer at the same time. So it has various tech stacks that can be put together to make a product end to end basically. And as I told you, each phase teaches you certain programs, certain tech stacks, and each week you will be actually making a product, actual product based out of your learnings from these tech stacks, and that's how you basically learn and make your own portfolio at SOAL. So you learn things like HTML, CSS, the basics. You know how to operate GitHub. You learn jQuery. You learn React Native, Ajax. You also learn Docker and Amazon, how to operate Amazon Web Services, and at the end you are someone who knows how to build a product end to end. A brief about the career phase essentially is that in that particular phase you will be working with our experts in the career team to find the kind of job you want to do next, and then you finally go out there in the market and hunt for the job, and that's how your entire program looks like. A brief about capstone product essentially is that you build a product end to end. So while you are building various products in between the program, 12 plus, as I said, the capstone product is something which is more or less like a product in itself which can go to market, which is the minimum viable product that you can build, or MVP that you can build. And if you actually want to build on it and make it a product or a company in itself, you are very welcome to do it at SOAL. After SOAL. Anyway, we'll move on from here. Again, things you can build with JavaScript that might come to your mind. Okay, why are we teaching JavaScript? JavaScript is basically everywhere. It is the technology that everyone wants you to, every employer wants their employee to know, and right from an Uber to Instagram to PayPal to Netflix to any other app that you're using, they are using some form of JavaScript. So this is essentially making you market ready, and very solidly market ready. You see these question marks to the left, right bottom, that's maybe the company that you build. And once you learn JavaScript, the potential is endless. And again, once you've completed the program, you will be eligible to become a junior software developer at any product company basically, and then you can apply. You don't just learn, you meta learn. At SOAL, we believe in equipping our learners with learning how to learn. So the idea of basically knowing what you are learning and how you can pick up more skills, so that you don't have to do another course going ahead in your life. So at SOAL, we teach you how to pick up skills very fast, and we have a specific curriculum, specially dedicated success skills team that constantly works with you to make sure you are learning how to learn, not just learning the technology that we are teaching you. It is beyond that. Remote learning at SOAL. Okay, to very briefly mention, the remote learning environment at SOAL equips you to learn from anywhere, be it your home, be it somewhere else, or be it on our campus. You are always connected with your peers and the educators. Global exposure gives you access to programmers from around the world who review your code when you are writing your projects. These are the people who are coming in and reviewing your code. We have access to a network of globally placed programmers that do the review for us. For you, we have a virtual learning assistant which is called Delta, which is where all the online learning happens, and which equips you to become, which actually acts as your buddy. So anytime it keeps pinging you to work more, inspires you to work more. All your learning all your learning materials, all your calls, all your interviews with and meetings, all of them are happening through our virtual learning assistant, so you don't have to go anywhere else. So everything is integrated into Delta. 24/7 success support, which is essentially that be it our offline program or the hybrid program, any which one you are joining, we have tools to attend to your queries at any point in the day. Highly trained educators, obviously I don't need to go deeper into that. We have the best educators in the industry who have themselves have exposure to building products, and they have come in to teach you and guide you in the process of becoming a software developer or a product engineer for that matter. This is something I'll not cover in this video, but you can go through it later. Essentially talks about the takeaways, the tangible takeaways from SOAL that you take. The average salary of SOAL learners is around 6 LPA. So that is something that you might want to take a look at. SOAL is a 2.5-year-old organization. We have done 150 plus learners so far, based out of our campuses in both Hyderabad and Bombay. And our average package that our learners get is around 6 LPA, but we have had people getting more than 15, around 15 as well. So anywhere between 6 to 20 is something that you can look at, but the average has been 6. So depending on whether you are a fresher, whether you are a seasoned professional, that will vary. The pay that you get after SOAL will vary. Talking about the kind of companies that our graduates work with, we have our graduates working with top product-based companies in the country, be it ClearTax, be it Shopkin, be it ShopClues, be it Zoho. We have a bunch of alumni working across board in various product-based companies, and I'll be mentioning a few of them in the next slide. So as you can see, our audience-based or our learners-based covers an entire spectrum of the kind of people we have had at SOAL, from being people like seasoned professionals like Kaushik and Nikita, who went on to become better in their career after SOAL and joined ClearTax and ShopClues respectively, to someone like a fresher who was Rahul Karoda, who joined us last year in one of the batches. Ended up graduating and becoming an engineer at Paymatrix, and then he went on to become a team lead. So now he's a senior engineer, so there are people working under him, right, as I speak. So which puts him at a position where he has seen high career growth. So it's not been something like a stagnant career growth for our learners. It's always been a peaking career growth. So that's an overview of the kind of people we've had in terms of transformations that our alumni have had. I'll talk about a specific case called Varshisht Regonda, who joined us last year again. I think Rahul had joined us a couple of years back, but Varshisht graduated last year. And in his testimonial, if you can read, you find two things that excites me very much. He came from a non-tech background, and he was nervous that if he would be able to pick up engineering, pick up coding, but through SOAL he was able to do that. So as I mentioned earlier, you don't need to know programming to begin your learning at SOAL. You just have to be enthusiastic and have the logical aptitude, computational aptitude to pick up the learning curve, pick up onto the learning curve. That is one bit. The other bit is the scope of learning beyond the basic, beyond the tech part. So what you are learning, as I said earlier, you're not just learning the tech that we're teaching you, you're going beyond it and you're learning more than that. You're learning how to pick up anything that comes up. Why is it important now? 15 years down the line, 15 years back actually, down the line, 15 years back, we had these regular phones. We had to do zing, 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 and then a number will be dialed and we'll pick up and then we'll have a conversation. Used to be the landlines, bigger landlines. Now it's just okay Google, call Varshisht, and you can connect with people. That is how I see the technology has changed over a period of time. Exactly, on the back end, people who are making this technology, you all will be people who will be making these technologies. As such people, you need to be equipped with the skills to learn as the time changes, as things change. And at SOAL, we teach you how to pick up on those skills, pick up on how to learning, the process of learning anything essentially. Again, I gave you a brief about where our learners are placed, what all you learn. there are two kinds of program when it comes to the SOAL program. There is a 16-week full-time program and a 26-week part-time program. 26-week part-time program is suitable for people who are students, who are currently working or currently students. And the 16-week program is suitable for freshers, job seekers, or people on a sabbatical. So if you have a lot of time at your disposal, you can go for the full-time program, which begins on the 27th of April, and there is the part-time program which begins on the 4th of April, starting the first week starting on the 4th of April and going on for 26 weeks, and there is a full-time program that starts from 27th April and goes on for the next 16 weeks. We have limited number of seats for both, so I'll explain how you can apply, but make sure that you're applying right away if you're interested in the program. Again, in the full-time program, you're putting in 8 to 10 hours from Monday to Friday. This happens usually in our campuses out of, in Hyderabad, it is based out of Innovate in High Tech City, so High Tech City Gachibowli area, and it's a co-working space. And for the part-time program, you are putting in 3 to 4 hours of 3 hours daily from Monday to Friday, between 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. so that if you are working or are currently a student, you can accommodate those hours while you are also doing your other things on the side. And on the weekends, you're expected to come down to our campus for around 5 hours on Saturdays and Sundays and spend time one-to-one with our educators. So there is a full-time program and there is a part-time program, and this is the split. The full-time program is for 16 weeks and requires 8 to 10 hours of your time every day from Monday to Friday. The part-time program is for 26 weeks, requires 3 hours of a regular time in the evenings and 4 to 5 hours in the weekends. I think I have covered this part. Remember the dates: 4th of April is for the part-time batch and 27th of April is for the full-time batch. Now talking about the fee structure. So the entire program asks you to pay nothing upfront. So when you are joining the program, you're paying zero, you're paying nothing upfront, and only when you are getting placed after your program ends successfully are you starting to pay us 17% of your salary for 2 years. So you're not paying anything before that, you're only paying once you're getting the job that you want to get out of SOAL. Once you've gotten it, you're paying us the course fees. So when you're joining, you don't need to pay anything. We guarantee a minimum CTC, which is 5 LPA. So you pay us only if you're getting 5 LPA out of the program. I hope I'm making it clear. There is zero money that you pay upfront. You only submit a list of documents that is asked of you, and you only start paying once you are earning at least 5 LPA after the program. Again, 5 LPA is the minimum amount. It can range from anywhere between 5 to 15 to 20 depending on your experience and your skill sets. And you're paying a 17% of your salary post that for 2 years to pay back the course fees. Now to give you a brief about the application process, there is an online application process that you have to start. Then there is an evaluation you have to complete. Once you clear the evaluation, you get the results. So because we are giving the program upfront without zero fees, we make sure that without any fees, we make sure that anyone who's joining the program is competent enough, so that to test for that, we have an online evaluation process, and I'll tell you how to go through that entire evaluation process. I'll give you a link. You have to go in there and submit your details. Once you have submitted your details, you will be taken to the test page. You complete the test. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes of your time. It basically asks you questions about logical aptitude, tests your reasoning skills, and is not about programming fully. It is about computational aptitude. So even if you don't know how to code, you can still clear the test. So that is the process. You start your application process, you then complete the evaluation, then we give you the results, yes, no, then you choose if you want to join SOAL or not. As we are here at this page, I want to and we are about to end the entire thing, I want to mention a few things for your quick recap. This is a full stack development program, so you're learning front end development and back end development, and you're specializing in one of them. You're learning JavaScript and you're learning MERN stack. So these are the things you're learning. There is a huge focus on learning and the method of how to learn. So we have an entire curriculum dedicated to teaching our learners how to learn. That is one bit. Then there are two parts of the program. There is a full-time program, there is a part-time program. The part-time program is beginning on the 4th of April and the full-time program is beginning on the 27th of April. For both of them, the application closes tomorrow, which is Sunday. So make sure you're applying right away and you're completing your assessment before tomorrow, so that you are eligible for either of those batches. There are limited seats and we have people coming in on a rolling basis. So make sure you're applying and getting done with your application process. If you have further doubts, my admissions team will be calling you and explaining you more about the program once you have applied. So make sure you're using the link, which is bit.ly/SOALMARAH. You're going in there, you're finishing the evaluation, and then we will be getting in touch with you. Make sure you're doing it today or tomorrow latest, so that if you have a higher chance of getting into the program. One final thing, there is no upfront fee that you pay. It is zero, the amount that you pay. You only submit some documents, and only once you have gotten a job of minimum 5 LPA. Again, minimum doesn't mean that you will get that. You might get a lot more depending on your experience and skill. But once you've only gotten a job of minimum 5 LPA, only then do you start paying us at 17% of your salary for 2 years. That's it about the program and the application process. Please, I'll be mentioning this link in your email as well. Make sure you're going to this particular link and completing your evaluation today itself, so that our team can get in touch with you and complete your admissions before the 4th of April batch starts. Remember, we have rolling admissions, so the faster you finish your test, the better it is. Again, I have to mention one more last thing. We are totally equipped to run remotely. That is, our online classes are that happen for our part-time batches are very solid and happen through our platform called Delta, which is the virtual learning assistant. So don't worry about not being able to do things because of the lockdown, because we are functioning, and our educators will be online, and all the things that are supposed to happen will happen very smoothly. For others who are applying for the full-time batch starting 27th April, make sure you're completing your evaluation today itself or tomorrow as well, because we have very few seats. I think about 5 to 10 seats. At max, I think 10 seats left. Also, the batch sizes don't go beyond 15 to 20. So we take in very smaller batches. So if you are interested, now is the time to apply. Thank you for your time here. If you have any queries, then you might write to admissions@soal.io, and once you've applied using this link, we will be getting in touch with you. bit.ly/SOALMarch. That is the link you need to use to apply. Thank you for your time. I hope you keep safe and you stay indoors for the time of the lockdown. Stay safe. Good luck with your application process. Take care of yourself and your friends and family. Bye. Thank you.